and welcome to another episode of the KnitChat with Jenn podcast. I am the Jenn in the KnitChat. This is attempt three of starting this podcast. It is Friday, July 5th, 2019. This is season 3, episode 3. It's like we're going with the flow with number 3s. Hello, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about knitting, dream knitting, dream knitting, acquisitions, and chitter chatter, chitter true. Chitter chatter, chitter true. Oh God. So grab your beverage of choice. I'm drinking my regular 1 cup of coffee. I'm only allowed 1 cup of coffee, regular caffeinated coffee. So you're getting me, and see, let me switch it. So, no drama. There's still a ton of coffee in here. Don't be fooled. There's a ton of coffee in here. I'm just trying not to dump it all on me. So you don't get me as much caffeinated right now. Sorry, not sorry. All right, so let's jump into the knitting. I have a finished object. If you remember, I was knitting this in the last episode, and I finished it. My record of making a shawl, starting and finishing a shawl in 1 week will be killed because of, you'll see in the project that I'm working on. But this is the finished is the Nymphalia. I forget the author of the pattern. It will be down below in the description box. But this is the finished product. Oh, don't put it in the coffee. I went longer than it says in the pattern because I really wanted to use up as much of my yarn as possible. It's very orange. I do have to say the contrasting color of the orange really dialed down the jewel tones. So the orange is ABQ Yarns. It's called Tequila Sunrise. This is a superwash BFL and nylon, and then the jewel tone variegated yarn is Madeline Tosh, Tosh Twist or Tosh Sock. It's in my pattern. It's on my Ravelry. I forgot. Whatever. This is the Frida colorway. So it's very nice. It's blocked. Ends are weaved in. And I almost forgot to show this to you, hence why I had to start again, because I said, oh, I don't have any finished objects, and then I realized, yes, I do. Oops. So, here. I'm not going to wear it because it's warm, or I get easily warm. And you can't really see the beautifulness. I love the lace part. When I try to fashion it, I always try to get this lace part. It's my favorite part. It just kind of peeks out like a butterfly, which is the point, so try to show this part a lot. All right, so that is my finished object. Let me show you what I'm working on. Let me fold this up. Don't worry, it's not another firework. Our neighborhood exploded last night. I was not happy. I don't like loud noises, and Georgie was not happy because she doesn't like loud noises either. All right, what I am working on now, I believe I told you this in Dream Knitting. Which reminds me I need to grab the other thing too. I told you that I was going to start the Birds of a Feather by Andrea Mowry, and so I did. I didn't know this I didn't buy the pattern yet, but I didn't realize there were going to be ends that I had to weave in. Oh well. So this is what I've done so far. Instead of mohair, the lace weight is a Angora viscose. And I would say I'm halfway. So here's my little sushi. Oh, wait, there you go. My little sushi progress keeper. I'm halfway. I'm still in the increasing part. And then I have at least 5 more sections and then I bind off. No, 5 more sections, then the border, then bind off. So I'm actually doing pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna finish it at the end of this week. I don't think so. It's Friday. I don't think so. So we'll see. My record of a shawl a week has been killed. Well, it's harder to knit on this. Excuse me. Because you're switching, you're using the same needle, but I found it was harder to get a good rhythm when you're moving from lace weight to fingering weight, especially. Okay, these are signature needles, US 6. Okay, these are the ones where I forget the name of it, but they used to have them just fixed, right? And then they kept having problems, so then they started doing these. It's not really interchangeable, but they had it so that you could connect the cord. I have found that this part between the metal and the green sticks. It sticks, and then it sticks here at the cord. So even though I love the point, I love the point, I'm not a big fan. So this is the 3rd time using these US 6s, and I realized that with this Angora, it's catching too much and it's driving me nuts. So I'm not knitting as fast as I would like. And then it's also, the Angora is really catchy anyway. So that is my birds of a feather. And I figured out that I can knit this while reading a book, so I've been doing that. The yarn! What is the yarn, you say? What are you knitting with again? Alright, well, I am knitting it out of, the red is Wool Mice in the Kerbis 100%. They're 100% merino superwash. And the Angora is Bijou Basin. Bijou Basin. The tag's stuck, so hold on. Oh, there we go. Bijou Spun Seraphim, which is their Angora viscose. Okay. I'm not using it. I'm not using mohair because, again, I'm trying to knit through my stash. So this is what I had, and I saw the birds of the feather pattern, and I'm like, oh, perfect. It's my Christmas. Green and red, right? Oh, well. It's nice. I like it. It's an easy knit. It's easy knit, other than the ends having to be woven in. Ugh. I hate that. I hate it. I hate weaving in ends. It's a pain in the tukush. But, meh. What can you do? My other project, as you know, is my knot novelli. I have, oh, I'm in the middle of a row. Well, gosh darn monkey butts. You know what? I'm going to finish it. I'm almost at the end. So I hope everyone's doing okay. Just to explain for those who are just joining into my little corner of, teeny tiny corner of YouTube. I call it the Knot Novelli because I'm not doing the color work. I'm just using the shaping and numbers. So I'm using the numbers for the size and the shaping of the front and back. Just everything but the color work. So I don't really feel comfortable calling it a novelli, but I am using the pattern. Other than the color work. So I'm almost finished. I am knitting this out of 2 colors of wool mice. I bought a lot of wool mice maybe in 2000, I would say 2010 to 2014. So I'm trying really hard to knit through my wool mice. I still have a couple more skeins, which is part of my knit down the stash for the summer. Oh my gosh, I'm usually a fast knitter, but I'm purling and then it's getting stuck and I'm trying to think of what to say. Oi, I don't care. By the way, if I didn't say anything, I did say I'm Jen. If you would like to join me, my screen name on Instagram, where I'm very much always at, is Knitty Witchy. I am on Ravelry with the same screen name, Knitty Witchy. I'm trying to be better with updating my projects on Ravelry, so then that way you can see if you don't catch it in the very loosely show notes or I forget to say anything or put down in the description box, it should be there. It should. All right. I am on the back. That's why I didn't want it to be in the middle, because I want to show you. So I'm on the back of, so this is the bottom, flipped up. And then I started with the back. I changed this darker blue and turned it more into the turquoise, and because of how it's knit, I've had to increase the rows for the colors. I'm using 3, sorry. So I used 2 wool mice and 1 yarn love, and I'll show you the tags in a bit. So if you can kind of see, I'm on the back. This is my progress keeper to tell me where I started, because I have to knit for a certain time. At first, when I was looking at this, I'm like, I'm not sure about the color change, but looking at it here, I actually don't mind. It looks nice. It's subtle, so we'll see. This is the back. I'm on, and I switched from, so this is the color that I've been interchanging throughout. Is that the word? It works. Striping throughout. This is, as you can see though, it's getting really small, and I'm getting worried because then I don't know. I'm hoping I could still use this for the front as well, but I'm not even close to being where I need to be. And then I may not use it for the other part of the pattern, which is the shaping, which involves short rows. So I'm not sure. I have another skein of yarn, but it's heavier than these other skeins. So right now I'm striping it with this yarn. So right now it's this, okay? My other skein, the one that I was using before, is this, right? It's similar to this, right? Similar. This has a little bit more green. Again, I'll show you the tags in a minute. But if in the middle, in the middle of my back, finish up with this, and then start striping it with this. Wouldn't that look weird? It would look weird, right? So the other skein of yarn, which is a thicker, it's still a fingering, but it's definitely more of a heavy fingering, close to a sport, while these are true fingering weight, like midline. You wouldn't say it's lace, it's true middle of the line fingering weight. So if I start striping it in a similar color, it's a similar color to this, not this, it's this. I don't know. I mean, it is the back, so as is Don's nose. I don't know. If you're watching this and you've gotten this far and you have an opinion, please post it down below in the comments nicely, you know, with kindness and love. And not tell me I'm a fool. Please, just tell me. We'll see. But I haven't been knitting much on this as much other than the division, because I keep this in the living room. And usually when we watch stuff, in the living room, we'll watch our shows and that sort of thing. I'll knit on this. But we've been kind of having our separate nights because we don't want to start a new series because we're going on vacation, and Peter says we shouldn't start a series. I don't know his thought process. I just say, okay, honey, if you want. So I've been living in this room watching podcasts and Sailor Moon. So I've been knitting more on my shawl, which lives here. Anyway, this is what's going on. You're my little vote progress keeper. Let me show you the tags that I have been promising you for the last 3 minutes. And I'm not bringing this on vacation. So, no work will be put on it. Guaranteed. Where's the other one? Ah, there it is. All right. Again, I'm using the numbers and shaping of the novelli, but I'm not at all using the color work. So, and this is one of them, 100% Merino Superwash. We're different, which is the darker turquoisey blue. Although in the last one it didn't show the blue. This time it showed the blue much better. I think it's because it's cloudy today. Oh, and that's why I'm drinking my first cup of coffee. It's because it was cloudy and I didn't want to ruin the chance of it being cloudier and not as sunny. And Peter's watching a horror movie, so I have the house to myself, and it's quiet. Other than the damn birds. Anyway, I am on a tangent. We're different is the darker turquoise, Wilma is 100%. Then the lighter turquoise, Hammam, which apparently means Turkish baths. Please tell me if I'm wrong. Comment below. This one is twin, which is Woolham polyamide. It's their twin, not their 100%. And then the one that I'm scared of running out is Yarn Love. This was part of a, excuse me, I'm so sorry about the itching. This was part of a yarn club that I did. Yarn Love. It's their Corriedale sock. I know she's still dying, but I don't know if she has this base. They have its base. I'm trying to be better about gender and whatnot and being very respectful. So I don't know. I don't follow her anymore. But anyway, this is Yarn Love. I don't know if they have Corriedale sock anymore, but this is it. It's called Seaside Cottage. And that's the one that I'm really hoping I can get through. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not a very good judge about yarn. I always end up using less yarn than I should, and I end up with a ton of leftover yarn. So I could be wrong. It could be doing just fine. All right, next is dream knitting, but I need to grab the other thing that I meant to grab. So hold on, let me grab some coffee. And I'm gonna squish, squishy, squishy, squishy. All right. Yes, I know, Georgie. If you haven't met, this is Georgie. Georgie. She lives in my room. She likes the daybed. Georgie is our latest animal. For those who don't know, we have 2 cats and 1 dog. I think the last time in season 2, the last episode back then, you had just met Oliver Queen. And then we got Georgie. How many months ago? 4 months ago? Yeah. Hi, baby. Come on, lie down. She loves to live in my room. And Peter's not here, and so she gets kind of clingy. Yes, you're clingy, and you're going to lick me. No, don't lick me. Don't lick me. All right, so first, for dream knitting, since we're going on vacation, I don't want to bring big projects. So that's why I'm debating about bringing the birds of a feather. Maybe. But I know for sure the socks that I have on the go, they're almost done. They're almost to the cuff. So, and I'll show that to you when they're completely done. So I know that I'm going to have to replace it with this. Oh my goodness gracious. Whew, that pink is just popping. These are another plain vanilla socks. It's going to be for me. Although I could totally see Peter rocking this. That man can rock a lot of things. He's willing to wear anything as long as it's knit by me. Yes, I know, I'll keep him. Sometimes though. Oh, I love that sucker. But I think this is definitely for me. I want this. It's calling a jitterbug in Honolulu. And I definitely got this as a present because the price of it is blacked out. So, oh, and look at that. They tell me when it was bought. Or at least made. So this is 2010. This is 9 years old. Jesus, Maddie and Joseph. So this is calling it Jitterbug Honolulu. These are just going to be vanilla socks. I find with... Oh, are you done? Okay. You want to see her? You want to say hi? Sorry. Hi there, Bubby. Hi. That's my Georgie. All right, let's situate you. There you go. Anyway, dream knitting. So I like with variegated of just doing vanilla sock, letting it. I don't hate flashing. And I find that the patterns that I choose, the texture patterns that I choose for socks just get hidden in variegated. So just a plain vanilla sock. Let the colors be. Let's see. So the colors, I'm trying to be more descriptive just in case someone's just listening to this rather than seeing it. The colors are a very hot pink, a holiday red, like my nails, and black. like a deep black. Although I see in between the hot pinks some magentas. So for those who can't see it, it's like a searing hot pink with 80s magenta, black, and red. Like an orangey red. Yeah, not a blue red, definitely an orange red. It matches my nails. So, calling it Jitterbug Honolulu. Anyway, and this was bought in 2010. Someone gave this to me 9 years ago. I think my friend Alicia gave me this. I think so. She said the pink was perfect for me, I believe. I can remember certain things. I don't know why. Okay, next is another pair of socks. Again, socks for me are just so easy to travel now because it's easy for me. I have a big backpack of a purse. Excuse me. And it's just easier. So I think for traveling, I'm going to just bring socks. But this, I have promised my friend Heidi, my best friend Heidi, that I would make her socks. She gave me this batch, and she gave me another batch, which was a Vincent van Gogh opal. Opal? I think it was opal. So I knit her those in a texture pattern. And then she said, don't worry about the next ones. But I figure since I'm going on vacation, I'm going to go crazy if I just have vanilla socks. I'm going to start with this one. This is Angora Merino Regia 2. Although I think some of this one has been used. I hope not. I really hope not. I don't think so. It's okay. I can usually she's given me other colors of this before, and I've been able to use it no problem without running out of yarn. As I said, I usually don't run out of yarn, so I always feel like I'm going to play yarn chicken, and then I don't, and I always get scared. So I'm going to do these. I think I'm going to do one of the socks from the New York collection that Mina Phillips has done, Knitting Expat. I bought her 2 collections of hers with these socks in mine, the New York collection, and then this volume 2 of Beyond something. Beyond. I don't remember. But 2 of her collections, so with this yarn in mind. So I'm going to be doing that for our trip. So I gotta wind this up. And then once I'm done with Birds of the Feather in my Erin Lane bag, I have yarn for a color affection. Yes, sirree, Bob. I'm going to finally knit this. I had originally had a Miss Babs kit that I bought, I would say 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It yarn barfed all over the place. And I didn't have enough, I wouldn't have had enough yardage. So I chucked it, very upset with myself. But I looked through my bin and picked out really good color affection colors. So the first one is Madeline Tosh Twist Light called Coquette. I would say this is a raspberry pinkish red color. It's about right. It's a raspberry red color called Coquette. C-O, what looks like a Q-U-E-T-T-E. I would say Coquette. So it's like a raspberry red. The second color, and I don't know if this is going to be yarn A, B, C. I'm just showing you. This is Lisa Souza. It is There's 100% superwash, superfine merino, sock merino. The colorway is called Sour Ball. And so this is a black with hints of purple. Yeah. Although, right here, ooh, with hints of green. So if you see right here, I don't know if that's bleaching from being in my cubes without protection, or if that's supposed to, okay. I'm now really curious. I probably won't be able to get the tag back on. I've had this for a while too. Yep, because this was made March 1st, 2011. I like it when they tell me when it was made, because then I know how long it's been in my stash. Oh, goodness gracious. It could be. All right, hold on. I think, okay, no, I think it's no, yeah, okay, it's intentional. I thought maybe, I'm like, oh God, did my yarn bleach from, because I have to say where I stored my yarn in our old places were not the greatest. I'm surprised I don't have as much damage, you know, but no, this is intentional. So it's black with hints of sour green, like a muted lime green. Oh no, just a regular deep green and purple. Well, that's not good. Better that way, yeah. See? Yeah. Is there any felting in here? That's one of the reasons why I've had so many issues with my older yarns. Is it's felted from all the moving, being put into boxes, and oh, that's not gonna fly. The third one, is it another Womiza? Could be another Womiza. Not as well. I can't get it as nicely. Could never get it as nicely. Oh, no, that's not good. Oh, brother. Well, I'll fix it later. No, it's another Yarn Love. This is the last. I believe it's my last of my Yarn Love clubs. This is Yarn Love. It's their Polwool Silk Blend Sportway. So it's a little bit thicker than the Madeline Tosh and the Sour Ball, but not by much. And not by much. So let's see. I think it'll be just fine. All right. So let's see. So if you notice, like this is a little bit thicker, so I'll have a little bit more squish than this one. And then let's see. The top is the Sour Ball. Yeah, this one's, yeah. So this just will have a little bit more squish, but not by much. It won't be that noticeable, I don't believe. This color is purple as well, but it's a tonal of a more muted purple, like a dusk purple, and then just regular deep purple, royal purple. Okay, and that's Polwool Silk. This is Sour Ball. I think this will be a lovely color affection, right? So, so that's my next shawl plan. And then after that, I actually put aside all the projects that I found yarn for in my queue. So hopefully that is going to go up. this way of doing things. Again, I was never a good skeiner when I was working at a yarn store. Hated it. Oh, that's much better. Better than nothing. All right. Okay. Yep. And it's too big for the tag. Let's see. Let's see if I can be cool. Oh yeah, I'm cool. All right. Oh, I'm weird. So that's my dream knitting or future knitting. And then I actually put aside a lot more of my yarn and projects aside, so that way they're ready for when I'm done with another project. I'm really hoping I can get a lot done in the summer. I feel like I have so far, but I feel like my summer's going away with me, even though I still have a ton of weeks, but I'll talk about that in chatter a little bit more, even though I feel like I've been chattering all this time, but whatever, dude. All right. Let's talk acquisitions. I didn't buy any yarn, but I did buy some books, and it kind of goes with some of what I'm going to be talking about in chatter. I bought a lot of mindfulness and meditation. So yesterday we went down to the bookstore. We had lunch with a friend of ours who's going to take care of our animals while we're gone. And then in downtown. And then we walked up because I know that the bookstore there was open. So I've been really wanting to get a couple of books that I saw when we went to the Point Reyes bookstore. And I didn't buy them. I wanted to buy them, but anyway. So I kept thinking of those books, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just go to my local bookstore and grab them. So we went up there, and I went a little crazy and got more than what I thought I was going to. Oh, the sweet elixirs of the gods. All right. So this one is called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. This is a classic, but she put it in poetry, but in Point Reyes it was in philosophy, so I got really confused. But it is written in verse if you look. That's not a good example. Like, it is kind of in verse, so it makes sense. I haven't read it, so I don't know if it's more of figurative language. Oh, interesting. Let me read you the description. This book, which is Gibran's masterpiece, has become one of the beloved classics of our time. Published in 1923, it has been translated into more than 20 languages, and the American editions alone have sold more than 9 million copies. Gibran considered The Prophet his greatest achievement. He said, "I think I've never been without The Prophet since I first conceived the book back in Mount Lebanon. It seems to have been a part of me. I kept the manuscript 4 years before I delivered it over to my publisher because I wanted to be sure. I want to be very sure that every word of it was the very best I had to offer." So it doesn't really explain what this. It's kind of a philosophy book. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's very much. Very much philosophy, and I'll tell you more when I finish. When I read it. Yeah. Oh, if you live in the area, this is the bookstore I'm talking about. So much. That's The Prophet. I also got from there The Places That Scare You by Pema Chodron. The subtitle is A Guide to Fearlessness in Difficult Times. Then I got, this was one of the ones that I wanted to get. Oh, there's a CD in here. This is John Kabat-Zinn, Mindfulness for Beginners. I wanted his other one that I saw at the other bookstore, but this is a good start. I don't feel like I'm a beginner, but... And then this one was something that I'm like, oh my gosh, you have this. Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This is one translation, and it looks like a much better one. I had bought another translation from Amazon, and I read a little bit of it and instantly knew this was a bad translation. They used a lot of words that are common in Western religion, like Christianity, that does not fit with Eastern religion. So I knew instantly it was a bad translation. So I gave it away. Basically, I tried to sell it at half-price books, and they usually just give you a penny for books they don't want. So I saw this, and I'm like, score. I've been wanting to get a new translation, and this leads to chatter, but I am, in the beginning of August, going to a retreat, a yoga retreat, and one of the things they give you time to do is self-study. So I figured, okay, I'll bring this and read a little bit about it. Maybe I can pick a brain from one of the swamis there. So I got that one. So that's it for acquisitions. I can never leave that bookstore without a pile of books. She can never remember who I am, though. It's like, you see me all the time, right? I almost bought the new book by Elizabeth Gilbert, City of Girls, but I did not. I held back on that. So, and that's it for acquisitions. So chatter. So let's lead with what I just talked about. I am going on a retreat the beginning of August, and it's to an ashram, and it's going to be up in the Sierra Nevadas, in the foothills of Sierra Nevada, and there's going to be no coffee or any caffeine of any sort, and I will not have my phone. No internet. It took me a long time to consider doing it, pulling the trigger. My friend told me, she sent me 2 websites for yoga retreats, because I guess her and a other friend were talking about, because she also does a lot of meditation and mindfulness to help with her anxiety. And so her and her friend were talking about, oh, let's do a yoga retreat. And she's like, oh, if you want to join us, that would be awesome. I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. The first one was starting at $700, and it was for yoga and wine tasting. I was just like, girl, lady, that's like, if we're going to do wine tasting, let's not pretend it's for yoga. Let's just go wine tasting. Really? If you can hear that squeaking, that's my foot on the wood floor, by the way. I was just like, no, it's $700 too. No, might as well just do it ourselves by ourselves. Her friend called it bougie, because I was texting her, and I'm like, I don't know about the first one. It seems a little not. It's a little too pricey, and it's a little less enlightening. And she's like, yeah, my friend called it bougie. I'm like, yeah, no. If I'm going to find enlightenment and ways of dealing with everything, I'm not going to go yoga and wine tasting. No. Anyway, so the second one was, it's called Sivananda Yoga Farm. It's up in Grass Valley. And that really appealed to me. It's part of a huge international organization for the Sivananda Yoga Ashram. I'll put the link to where I'm going down below, okay? And it's part of a whole it's a type of yoga. You know how you hear about Iyengar, what's the very hot one? Burkham, Hatha, Vinyasa. Those are the methods of physical yoga. Hatha is actually the physical yoga. There's the philosophy. I've talked about this before, where there's the asanas, which is the postures that everyone knows in the West, and then there's the philosophy, the Raja Yoga, the Karma Yoga, the Bhakti Yoga. Those are the actions of living, philosophy, that sort of thing. So, and it's not any religion. It's a philosophy. It's how you want to live your life. You can be Christian and follow this type of philosophy in life. You can be Hindu, Buddhist, pagan, or Wiccan. You know, it's not a religion. It's very much not a religion. But there have been times where it can seem like you're joining a cult. I heard something. Well, if someone comes running in here and killing me, I have evidence. I don't like staying alone in the house by myself. It was like that in the apartment too. I have anxiety. That's why I meditate. Anyway, so what was I going to say? When I think of ashrams, you know, some people think, oh, eat, pray, love. You know, she went to an ashram. And I'm the one that watched the Netflix documentary Wild Wild Country. I almost joined a cult. Yes, I did. Yes. So when I first saw the Sivananda Yoga Farm, and I was reading it, and they were talking about two of the people that brought it, one that brought it to the West and the other one that encouraged, two gurus, swamis that started this whole organization. Instantly, I'm like, okay, I need to research that this isn't a cult. So I did. I researched it. I've gotten good with this. I will tell you my story about how I got into a cult later, but right now I want to focus on this point of going to the ashram. So I did my research, and then I found a really good, so they do what they call yoga vacations. I swear I'm going crazy. They do something called yoga vacations where you choose the dates. And you can come. They have pricing on the different types. You can do a tent, you can do a shared cabin, a private cabin, and then they have these deluxe cabins and whatnot. And, you know, it depends on the price and how many people, that sort of thing. And then you can choose the dates. Everything comes with 2 vegetarian meals, 2 yoga classes, so 2 meals a day, vegetarian meals, 2 yoga classes a day, you know, accommodations, all of that, fruit, snacks, you know, for those that need to eat in the middle. So, I mean, and it was really well priced, honestly, from the $700 for yoga and wine tasting and whatnot to about $500 for 4 days. The wine tasting and yoga is 3 days for $700, okay? Just consider that. And then you get the 4 days for a little bit sorry, a little bit over $400. So and then you're also learning, you're meditating, they have meditation and lectures in the morning, at night. It is a little bit like boot camp. You can do that. You can just decide to spend time in the ashram to find peace, relaxing, meditate by yourself, get away from the crowds. And you can also do specific workshops and events. And I was debating whether I just wanted to go and do the yoga vacation, just take some time off, or do one of their classes. I decided to do one of their classes, their workshops. It's about prana, which is life force, pranayama, which is breath. It's pranayama, and something else. But it's helping you understand prana, which is the life force, and how to work with breath work. I talked about pranayama with the Iyengar book. Just dealing with how to use breath work, and you get to go to the Yuba River while you breathe. Water, Pisces, me, heaven. So I decided to do it. I pulled the trigger. I made sure I wasn't joining a cult, and I decided to add one extra day since it's getting close to the end of my vacation at that time, of my summer vacation. I figured, you know what, one extra day won't kill me. It's not that bad. So that is what I'm doing. But I was reading the guest information, and I didn't realize there will be no coffee. I can do perfectly well with no internet and no phones. I can handle that. I can live. But no coffee. Did you hear that? Georgie agrees with me. No coffee? Yuck, right? I hope my camera got that. It's just, oh my God. I have not, I'm gonna do it though. It's okay. I'm facing my fears. That's one of the things, that's why actually I got one of the books, is like, I gotta be fearless. I can do this. This is gonna be good. This was one of the things I've been wanting to do before I die. 1, travel by train across country. 2, go to a yoga retreat. And 3, go to a knitting retreat. I'm filling one of those this year. Yes. Anyway, other things. Peter and I are going on a road trip starting Monday, and so actually that's why the podcast is coming up later, because I had a lot of stuff to do in the beginning of the year to get ready for our road trip. And then it was July 4th. So that's why it's coming in late. But we're going on a road trip. On Monday, we're going to start in Santa Barbara, go down to Orange County, and then, spend a day in Santa Barbara, spend a day over in Orange County, then spend a couple of days in San Diego, and then drive all the way to Arizona to spend some time with my sister. And then from there, go to Joshua Tree for a day, and then head back home. I'm excited. I've been to Arizona. I've been to all of these places. But one, it'll be nice to see where my sister lives now. And then 2, I've always wanted to go to Joshua Tree. So we are going to Joshua Tree, which is at the end, but it's okay. It's a nice cherry on the top. So we're going to take turns driving, and yeah, that's about it. So we'll be out for a week. Podcasting wise, I'm going to try to do vlogs. Kind of either put it all together or do it day by day. I think I'm going to put them all together. So, because I'm lazy. I was going to do a little tiny vlog of Point Reyes. I'm going to put it at the end of this episode, which is already 54 minutes. Whatever. 5 people watch it anyway. It's okay. And they probably watch like 10 minutes of it. If you've made it this long, love you. So at the end of this, I also said last episode that I would do a craft room tour, and I didn't do it. So I did one that day while I was processing the podcast. I didn't particularly like it, but whatever. So that's going to be at the end. Footage from Point Reyes is going to be after that, and then I think that's it. So I figure I'll put it at the end so people don't have to watch it. I don't know. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't want to watch it, you can just click, say bye-bye, and see you later. I can't think of what else to talk about. Yeah, Point Reyes was nice. Actually, it was kind of disappointing. I wanted to hike, and my husband loves beach, so once he saw beach, he's like, we're going there. And he thought that there were going to be hiking trails around the beaches, but the trail that was near the beach that we went to didn't allow dogs, and the whole point was to bring Georgie to go hiking, and it was kind of disappointing. It was beautiful. I saw a lot of cows, and I ate local cheese because I love cheese. Cheese beats people. But I really wanted to hike. I wanted to hike in the woods, and it didn't happen. So, and then we went to the Point Reyes station, which is the little town outside of the national park, and that was also disappointing. You couldn't bring dogs in, even though there were a ton of dogs walking around. You couldn't bring dogs anywhere into the businesses. And then Cowboy Creamery, which is a bigger known cheese maker, they are stationed there, and you would think they'd have cheese tasting. I went inside, there was no cheese tasting. Everyone was just in line, queued up to get a number to queue up to buy cheese. And I'm like, I'm not spending my time being in line to get a number to get in line to eat cheese. I'll just go to the Ferry Building in San Francisco, you know? So that was disappointing. But we made do with what it was. I tried to convince Peter to go on an adventure and go from Point Reyes Station to Petaluma, and he's like, no. I'm like, oh, come on. It's twisty roads. It's like, it's twisty road. Oh, whatever. It's like too far out of our way. I'm like, adventure! I could not convince him, so. We've been to Petaluma many times. It's just, it would have been fun. Anyway, that's about it. I'm excited. Beaches. We're going to be sitting on beaches and just relaxing and seeing culture and whatnot for the next week. So I won't see you next week for the 3 people that are watching. All right, y'all. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. I hope you had a safe July 4th if you celebrated. And I'll see you next time. And in the words, oh, that's just stupid. I'm not going to do it. But anyway, at the end of yoga class, you always do the namaste. Namaste means the light in me sees the light in you. Or some say the divine in me sees the divine in you. Or the God in me sees the God in you. And either way, I love this sentiment. So, namaste. Hello. hopefully I'm in frame. So I realized that I forgot to give you the tour of my craft room. So I'll make it into a vlog. And hopefully I'm in frame. I'm going to switch you over. All right. So this is the entrance to my craft room, or just my office. All right, I have this on the door, which hopefully people will appreciate. It says, gross Georgie. It says, seeking haven from Mr. Darcy, Elizabeth Bennet chances upon a strange blue box. Right. So Peter, before we moved in, painted my room a TARDIS blue. And that's gross Georgie. That's my yoga stuff there. A box for the kitty, my book of the month. That's the daybed. So if we ever had guests, Georgie, you're gross. She does this. So if we ever had guests, this would be where they would sleep. Obviously, I would wash the bedding. But normally what I do is I sit here. And as you can see, there's my knitting. There's keyboard, mouse, where I put my water, because I would sit here and I'd watch my podcast or whatever I want to watch. That's my desk, but we'll get to that in a minute. All right. This is one wall. All right. These are the cubes that I was talking about. That's where I put my yarn, books. So let's get, there's a fan. That's a printer. These are where I keep my office files. This is where I keep my knitting, my knitted sweaters. All right. That's my Swift. Say hello to Rainbow Bright. All right. So this is the top. This is the bottom. If you kind of want, and that's the table that I use to wind up stuff. But all right. Oh goodness. So this drawer, I keep all my self-striping. All right. And I just reorganized it last night when I couldn't sleep. So that way I can grab yarn that I can make for Peter, because he's blowing through the merino. So I'm gonna knit him some really tough wool BFL, and then this stuff is for me. This drawer or cube, it's all my scraps and all other yarns that just, small yarns that I can do small things or scraps or heels and toes. I put the yarn scraps that are less than a certain amount in another place, which I'll show you in a minute. But see, there's enough yarn in here that I could make multiple heels and toes. Oh, and this is a blanket that I kind of put to the side. Oh, this yarn I need to make for a friend. She asked me to make it for her. But let's see. I could use these to darn. See. What else? Yeah. And just scrap, excuse me. I got in here. Sorry, I'm reaching in. I have in here some mini skein set during Stitches West this year. Black cat fibers. Because I want to make a Frankensocks. Bless you. So I got this from Black Cat Fibers. Which, yeah. And this is called Nomad More Than Monochrome. So that's living in here. So just scrap yarn, all that stuff. Okay. Reaching down below. Oh my god. I'm an old lady. Shush. Alright, this is where I hold all my needles, mothballs. The fear is real, y'all. Like, this is all my notions bag. My sister got me this for Christmas one year. She is too fond of books and has turned her brain. She got me that. Socks that I need to darn. That one. And just random. That one too. That's my husband's. So just knick-knack, not knick-knacks, but like needles, notions, that sort of thing. And then this one, I just reorganized this one as well. My knitting bag projects. I categorize them into types. So these are the big pouch. These are drawstring, and then cubes. So, oh, okay. Let's go back up. I really need to do yoga today. Whew. All right. This is the top cube. This one is, so that I categorized these cubes. So these top ones are sweater quantities. These are my one skeiners and whatnot, and they're fingering weight. So this is my oldest. These are where my I think I'm at 2015. I think I've gotten through all of my, no, lies. This I got in 2012, 2013. At least. Because I got this Cambria by the Sea. It was near San Luis Obispo. So, never mind, I lied. So, this is all my old stuff. Then, this is recent. Although this I also got in New Mexico, as you can see by the, so I'm not sure why this one's not in there. I don't know, whatever. This is 2015. I think maybe I put some portion of my 2015 in here, but like, I got this. Where did I get this one? Do I have a tag? No, of course not. I think I got this at Black Squirrel. This, I'm trying not to get, put them all together because I have an idea for a sew faded. This one I know I got in 2016. I got this when I was in Washington. So a lot of these are yarns that I got a long time, relatively recently. And then these, okay, I can't pull them too much, but that there to the brim is my fingering weight sweater quantities. This here, hopefully I can do it. DK. All DK. I tend to buy fingering weight or DK because I really feel like in this climate, worsted weight would be a waste. I'm also warm-blooded. So I get very warm very easily. So I don't think a worsted weight sweater would be in the best interest for me. So DK, as you can tell, it's up to the brim, y'all. It's up to the brim. Woohoo! Alright. So that's one tower of cubes. The next one is less crowded. Actually, he bought me a lot of my little statues. That was from our wedding. Stop focusing. So you see here, these are going here because I have no room in there. That's what I'm saying about not having room. And I splurged a little. So this is what I got recently that I talked about a little bit. I went to Fillory Yarns over in San Jose area, and I got this. It was on sale, 20% off, and it's Summer Light 4-ply, Egyptian cotton. Of course, it's gray. As you can see, I have a type of color. I got this because it was 20% off. I had a gift certificate. Peter got me a gift certificate for Christmas. So, and then this I got from my birthday. I told Peter, hey, can you make sure I don't buy any more sweater quantities of yarn? I bought a ton during Stitches West. And he's like, okay. I do not listen to him. It is not his fault. So I got this. Anyway, it's gray. I got this at the Mendocino yarn because we went to Mendocino. And this is the reason why I said no more. Because I got this packet, gradient for a sweater quantity. This is where I keep my magazines and also some other stuff like cards that I received. Oh, I shouldn't have shown that one. Oh, I guess you can see. That's my family. That's not my mom. That's my dad's partner. So that was supposedly for my birthday. Anyway, it's birthday cards. More birthday cards. There is my mom's old candle. She was a Scorpio. A friend of mine sent me that as a nice encouragement when my mom died. This was my mom's. So anyway, these are the books, informational books that I have about yoga, magic, that sort of thing. I keep it there. This is my other weight box. So if you look, I don't have that many. As you can see, I have been knitting this down a ton. Like this was from a club. I bought these two in the Philippines. I know, there was yarn in the Philippines. I found yarn in the Philippines because I am talented like that. So a lot of these are like Aran weight, DK. I think this is Yowza. So this is Yowza yarn. So this is worsted, I believe, or light worsted. Oh yeah, light worsted. So it can be confused as a DK. This I got as a present from my sister. They got this in South Africa. And then, anyway, like this again, this is club yarn that I got a long time ago. Yeah. Oh, this yarn I got from Germany from my parents when they went and did a cruise. Anyway, what else? Yeah, I have plans for most of this, like hats and stuff for Peter. Peter likes hats, I realized. Here's my books, more knitting books. That's an altar, that's an empty space, and this is where, ooh, goodness, if I could reach over. This is where I keep like my winder, future projects like this one, and all the scraps for my Cozy Memories blanket. I'm not going to pull everything out, but you see that orange That's part of my comfort, not comfort fade, Cozy Memories blanket. Scale. This is an old Swift. I want to actually give it away. But yeah. Ooh. Oi. Alright. So that is the second tower. And this is my desk. I don't know if people remember. Oh, yeah. That there. Sorry if those who freak out by feet. That's my work backpack, and that's why it's hiding under the desk. I put my chair here so that way I can watch my podcast, so it doesn't get in the way. But yeah, actually this is relatively clean. There's not much surface to my desk, but anyway, if people remember, I don't know if I ever spoke about it, but yeah, when we were in the apartment in Hayward, I needed a desk. I needed my own space in our teeny tiny apartment, so I took up a little bit of the kitchen. And at first I was using the card table that I just showed you as a desk. And then outside of the dumpsters, we found this desk. I, of course, cleaned it to an inch of its life, bleach and everything. And it's just, it's beautiful. I hold all my office stuff. Really, I'm not going to pull it out for you. But there's my computer, my planner, my life. As I said, Peter has gotten me most of that, except I bought this one. Although, Lois Lane, why are you always facing the wrong way? There you go. Hello. That's Lois Lane. So, my iPad, my planner, as I said. Oh. This kind of hides only because of the cats, but a student gave me this when I was student teaching. A first grader, his mom bought his teachers this because he was kind of a handful, but he was so sweet. But we were on a field trip and they bought us this. Excuse me. And then needle gauge. Someone made You Know Nothing, Jon Snow. And this was Peter's mom's. I named it Hedwig. She loved Al, so when she passed away, I asked if I could have that. He said, yeah. Or actually, they were giving it away and said, someone please take it. And I said, sure, I'll take it. But that's it. Oh, you want to see, if you notice, Doctor Who. Yeah, the theme is Doctor Who, if you haven't figured that out yet. Oh, so if you want to quickly look at the art, those are my degrees. Yeah, that's not all of my degrees, but those are the two major ones. As you can see, Doctor Who. That's my mama, you want to see. My sister got that for us. So she is spread, her ashes are spread right there, where she's standing. And then here's my cork board of fun. I see it now and then when I watch my podcast. A student of mine made me that. And then just some cards, and you can see my pins. And then this one came out. This is how we roll. My friend made me this patch because I gave her that idea. I really wish people would buy that one because it's just so awesome. People need to request it. She has an Etsy shop. But this one dances as though no one is watching. I used to have some of this stuff in my office when I was working in corporate and office life, but obviously, you know, I'm not in corporate life. So this was my mom's that someone gave me. Peace, love, bacon. Obviously, I don't eat bacon anymore, but who cares? I still love that patch. Let equality bloom. Kitty cat. Isn't that awesome? My friend sent me a lot of these. My friend Heidi Van Gogh. This is artwork by a local woman. She and I went to school together for a teaching credential, and I don't know if she still does it. I don't think so, but she used to do First Fridays in Oakland, and I bought that there. And she actually did the one for here, that one. Obviously TARDIS. That said hello, if you see really closely, hello sweetie. And then this says, I don't think you can see, it says the future is female. And that is my name in Gallifrey. This is Giada Rose. That came with an order. Let's see. This one my husband got me, but first coffee. That is my life. Porg! This one. That's Frida, and it's in a Rosie of the River, and it's a Si Se Puede. That was my huge, I put it near this one. This was my 5th grader. When I was teaching 5th grade, that was my thing with them, is Si Se Puede. You can do it, because a lot of them were very negative, and they didn't believe in themselves, so I had this on my briefcase. Si Se Puede. Si Se Puede! I don't know if they'll remember. I just got this one. This is the Deathly Hallows with the yarn. ITMFA. Impeach the motherfucker already. And if you listen to Dan Savage, the Savage Love Cast, you know more. And then the one chooses the wizard. I would like to get another one. Move Free Spirit down to hide that part and put another one, but we'll see. Oh, I got this a long time ago as a gift, long time ago. I meditate, I do yoga, I chant, and I still want to smack someone. Yeah, I feel I've gotten better. And then sorry, not sorry. My husband got me that one. Just a little bit more artwork if you want to see the artwork. Oh, so that's another one of my friends. Well, I mean, I haven't talked to her in a while, but yeah. And then this is my outside if you want to see. Isn't it gorgeous? We're working on trying to get this more refined. I really don't know what that bush is, but you see that tree? That's an orange tree. That is a fugly shed that we're going to try to get rid of. And that there is our lemon tree. We have a lot of citrus. All right, and then let's see. Oh, sorry, Georgie. Bunnies. That is Giada Rose, another local artist. This is another window. It looks out. I have to get up on the bed, but you look. This is our side patio. So, and you saw a little bit in the video, in the podcast. All right. Ooh, don't trip. All right. And then, boop, boop, a little corner. More storage and stuff. And then more artwork. This, another student. This was another student teaching student. She is so talented. I do wonder where she is, where some of my students are. I do wonder. She was so talented, and she was so shy when I first met her, and then she bloomed, and she was wonderful. But anyway, this is my craft room. Craft room, office. So, this is it. There's the George. Yeah, so there it is. One thing to note about northern California beaches is that they're not fine grained sand. They're actually made out of granite rock erosion. So that's why when you look up close, they're very tiny, tiny rocks that you could probably see in your granite counter. No, Georgie. No licking me. I want my coffee. Georgie, stop. I love you too.